welcome back to another episode of Smoked Meat with Jeff. It is a hot summer day, perfect day for a little appetizer dish I want to show you how to make today. We're going to do bacon wrapped alligator skewers. Damn! Little down south action going on, and to celebrate that I've got my moonshine, got my apple pie moonshine. Fresh out of the fridge. Perfect to keep me going while I'm making this this alligator dish. For making bacon wrapped alligator, we're going to need a couple of really basic supplies. Pretty much you're going to need some bamboo skewers. These are actually have been soaked for a few hours in water, which you will typically want to do when using skewers for the barbecue. Keeps them from charring and burning when you're on a barbecue. On the smoker, not so much of a concern because you are cooking at a low heat for a long period of time, but it's still a good idea to soak these in water. And for our food ingredients, we're going to need some alligator. You can get this at just about any small butcher shop. You're not going to find it at a Rayleigh's, Safeway, or other large food chain, but small local butcher shops can pretty much get anything for you. And what I've done is, you can see I've got it in a bowl of liquid here. This is a brine, brown sugar and salt. If you want to learn how to do brining, check out my my basic section on how to brine. But alligator is such a lean meat that it's very difficult to keep it moist during the cooking process. So it's a good idea to brine it like I did overnight in this solution, just so that it'll drive the moisture into the alligator itself and keep it moist while it's on the barbecue. And of course I'm going to be doing some bacon wrap. And I know you're sitting there going, Jeff, what a surprise, you're going to bacon wrap something. Well, of course I am. For two reasons. Number one, everything is better with bacon. Number two, it helps to drive some of the juices back into the alligator while it's cooking, as well as keep the moisture that I've been driving into it overnight with the brine from escaping during the cooking process. So let's go ahead and get started, and I'll show you how to cut this up, wrap it up, throw some spices on it, and throw it on the smoker. Man, that's some good moonshine. If you haven't tried moonshine, just straight moonshine takes a lot of getting used to. But it comes in various flavors. This one is one of my favorites. It's called apple pie. I've tried the cherry, and then yesterday I actually purchased a brand new one, a blueberry moonshine. Just amazing stuff. Want to have it as cold as possible, so keep it in the freezer. Alright, now that we're fueled up, let's get going on wrapping some alligator. As you can see here, I got my alligator from the butcher shop, and it has been brining overnight, like I said earlier. Comes in fairly long strips and odd sizes. This is already pre-tenderized. I can see where the butcher actually went through and kind of tenderized it, because alligator is not known to be the most tender of meats, and like I said earlier, being very lean, doesn't have a lot of fat, so you want to do whatever you can to keep the moisture in it while it's cooking. But for today, we're going to do our bacon wrapped skewers, so I am just going to cut this into some long strips, like so. Get a couple of them out of this one here. So we got our long strip, and then I'm going to take a skewer, and remember these are soaked in water to keep them from charring on the barbecue, and just kind of run it up the center of the skewer. Doesn't matter if you exit a few times while you're going through, you can just of course get back into the inner part of it. Right, that looks pretty good. I got a little piece here on the end. I'm going to cut that off and use that on another skewer that I'm doing. So on the skewer, and then I'm going to take some spices. You can use whatever you'd like. I'm going to use what I call my smoky and salty rub, and I am just going to liberally put it over my skewer. Kind of pat it in if you need to get it to stick. So as you can see, I've got Lots of flavor locked in here on the skewer. And then I'm going to take a piece of bacon and I am going to wrap this thing up. I find it easiest to start at the bottom. Go ahead and stab it onto the skewer. And then just take it and start wrapping it up until you're all the way to the top. And then you can stab it through the top of the skewer one more time. Nope, that one's a little fatty at the end there, so let's get into the meat. And there we go, wrapped in bacon. Now we're just going to do that a bunch of times, but you can actually save yourself a little bit of time if you just skewer a bunch on the skewers, season them all at once, and then wrap them in bacon rather than having to stop and do every step individually. So when we come back, I will have these ready and we will get them onto the smoker. Well, here we are. I've got the bacon wrapped alligator all prepped and ready to go, a bunch of skewers. I am just going to place them directly onto a Bradley rack, which will make it easier to transport over to my smoker, as well as get these things off later on when they're done. Or you can just put them directly on the grate. These are going to be cooked today for about 1.5 to 2 hours. Let's see if I can get them all onto one rack here or not. And today I'm going to be smoking with mesquite and some pecan for the wood that I'm choosing. Checking on it about every half an hour or so to make sure that the bacon is crisping the way it's supposed to, and that everything looks good along the way. So as you can see behind me, God, that's great. Behind me I've got the smoker up and going up to temperature 250 degrees. Let's get these swamp creatures going. All right, our bacon wrapped alligator skewers are done. Let's take a look here. Look at that, the bacon's nice and crisp. Now it's just time to serve these up. Perfect appetizer for a pre-dinner meal, or if you make enough of them, it makes a great main course. Now I just need to go get my new glass of moonshine to go with it. All right, it's time to eat. I've switched over to some blueberry moonshine because I ran out of my apple pie moonshine. But here we have our finished bacon wrapped alligator. We'll find out how that is. And of course, you may see some other things on my plate here. I've got a beef bone marrow that I smoked. If you want to see how to make this, check out one of my other YouTube videos. And of course I got a caprese salad to just kind of even things out a little bit so my wife doesn't get mad at me for eating nothing but smoked meat. Ooh, that's some good moonshine. All right, let's give this alligator a shot. Oh, that's amazing. The balance of the bacon with the spices and the unique flavor of the alligator. Thank you to the South. I'm glad I made a trip out to New Orleans to get inspired to do something with alligator. I can't even pronounce it today. Oh, that's good. All right, until next time, this is Jeff with Smoked Meat with Jeff.